Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series. Totally Awesome Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave, Iron Man Heroes Return. Let's get into it! Let's begin our return from a universe trapped in a toy ball with a look at the packaging. Marvel Legends series Build-A-Figure Totally Awesome Hulk. Assortment number 4 and up. Marvel. On the front, Iron Man Heroes Return, and some nice artwork in the background of the figure. And this is probably a digital render. Marvel, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Hasbro print on the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print. No, it's not. It includes figure and 4 accessories. Also, in case you forgot from just a second ago, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Then we have on this side the Build-A-Figure Totally Awesome Hulk. And there's the completed Build-A-Figure with numbers corresponding with which figure comes with which accessory. And here we have the numbers: Captain Marvel, Marvel's Photon, Ms. Marvel from the MCU, and then we have Marvel Boy, Marvel's Karnak, and Commander Rogers. So those guys all have Build-A-Figure pieces. This one doesn't. Iron Man, again, with no Build-A-Figure pieces. Anyway, here we go on this side. Some nice artwork in color of the Heroes Return Iron Man Marvel Legends series. Here on the back, we have Marvel Legends series Iron Man Heroes Returns. Nice digital render of the figure. He comes with an extra set of fists. And then we got some comic panels in the background here. Warning, attention, Achtung, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. And attention, especially don't stick them in your French pie hole. Also, don't give it to babies. Recycled print, Marvel print, small fine, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, Hasbro print, and a barcode. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to take a look at these accessories. And first up, we have a blast effect. It's nothing new. We've been getting these since, was it the 80th anniversary? Iron Man was the first one that came with these effects, or was it before that? Honestly, I can't remember this time. So anyway, there's 2 of those. Then he has an extra set of hands, which are fists, a left and a right. These are new sculpted hands, as far as I can tell. If not, somebody let me know in the comments. But they're on in and out hinge, and they do have some nice details in them. And again, here's the other one that has the same amount of detail in it, and again on an in and out hinge. That does it for the accessories. Let's take a look at the figure himself. And I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of Reborn and Return and all of that. It's, I don't know, it's just not, it wasn't my cup of tea. However, I do want to say this Iron Man design is not horrible. At least it doesn't have those super big pipes sticking up on his back like Reborn Iron Man did. And I do have to say that the face mask on this does evoke that first red and gold model of Iron Man, which I always called 2, but it's not really 2, it's like Model 3, I think, because 1 was the gray one, 2 was the gold one, and then the one with this style mask was the 3rd one, as far as I can remember. But it does have a lot of details in it, and the head sculpt is definitely new. I want to say the neck is new. Now the chest and torso, abdomen piece are most likely reuse. I can't really tell about the crotch piece. And then at least from the hips to the upper shin is most likely reused from the 80th anniversary Iron Man, as well as the parts of the arms up to the gauntlets. And then this looks possibly new. And then of course the unibeam and these wiry pieces and the shoulder pads and the backpack here are new pieces, but they are additions and they are glued, and it looks like they're embedded in as well. So this piece is more than likely a retool, but I could be wrong. I am not an expert on toy molds, although I probably should be at this point. But I will have to say it does have some nice gold paint there, and even there on the inside of the mouth. The neck looks like it's molded in gold plastic, as well as the arms and the legs, and this looks like gold paint on the unibeam or the chest piece. I'm not sure if it's actually a unibeam on this one or not, but I will have to say overall the style of this, it does look pretty impressive. As far as his articulation goes, he can look up that high, he can look down that far. He's got a little bit of chicken neck. He's got slight waggle. And it looks like it's on the hinge and ball system there. He can, with a little difficulty, do the full Exorcist. The collar here gets in the way just a little bit. And I just noticed that there is a little bit of gold paint on these lines around the collar. So that's pretty cool too. At the shoulder, there's no butterfly. Can raise up about 90 degrees. We'll call that 90. And then it will rotate full 360 degrees. This shoulder pad rotates with it because it's on a flap that goes down inside, and then the peg in the arm joint goes through it. So it rotates with the arm. Cut here at the upper bicep, full 360 degree rotation, double hinged, pinned elbow. At this point, Marvel Legends team, we should have retooled this 80th Iron Man to be pinless, seeing as how many times that you've used it. And then nothing at the gauntlet here because it's too close to that elbow joint. At the wrist, 360 degree rotation on a no hinge. Okay, again, this is going to be my other gripe about this figure. And we should be at the point now, Hasbro, that repulsor blast hands, even though they have a hole in them, and you know, you can stick a repulsor blast in it. After you showed that it could actually be done with the modular armor Iron Man, all repulsor hands on Iron Man should have a hinge in them. and there's really no excuse in them not having it. Now here, there's that typical Marvel Legends ab crunch hinge in here, and it does allow him to bend back that far, forward that far, but no hula and no ball joint at the waist, because again, I think this is reused from the 80th Iron Man. But it does have a cut there, and you can get a full 360 degree rotation. At the hips, he can give you almost the full splits. He can kick forward not quite 90 degrees, back about half a step. There's a cut here at the upper thigh for a full 360 degree rotation. Double hinge pin knee, and I'm going to say about this 80th Iron Man knee, same thing as I said about the elbow. It should be pinless by this time, as many times as it's been reused. So at this point, it should be pinless. Wouldn't take a rocket scientist, I think, to retool this, but somebody who knows more about it than I do. There is a cut in here in the boot somewhere that does allow for another 360 degree rotation. However, you can't see where it is. And again, there's some gold paint on the back here that I didn't say earlier. And also on the gauntlets, there's a little bit of paint in these lines here. And then this, I believe, is paint here. So, at the ankles, down that far, tilt up that far, just slightly, and there is a forward facing pin for rocker. And that, my friends, is a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons, and here we have the Heroes Returns Iron Man with the Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary Mark III Iron Man, and the Marvel vs. Capcom War Machine that's on the Modular Armor Iron Man mold. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Heroes Reborn Iron Man, with our final Marvel Legends comparison making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe's Classified series, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series, Heroes Reborn Iron Man, I have to say it's a pretty cool looking figure. I am a little disappointed that by this time the 80th Anniversary Iron Man arms and legs haven't been retooled to be pinless. Again, that's not a deal breaker for me, but it just seems that this mold has been used and used and used, and if they're going to continue using it, then you need to go ahead and replace the pins, in my opinion, to give it that more modern and sleek look that action figures should have at this point in the game. There is a lot of 80th Iron Man reuse here. And another point that I'm sad to say is that his repulsor blast hands are not hinged. Okay, we got hinged repulsor blast hands on Modular Armor Iron Man and Extremis Iron Man, and Extremis Iron Man has smaller hands than this guy does, which I'm assuming these might be all new sculpt, or they might be retooled 80th Iron Man hands. I'm not sure. But at either rate, they should have a hinge in them at this point. There's no reason for it not to, other than just sheer laziness or cost cutting or budgetary concerns. But I think if you're going to continue using these mold pieces, then you need to go ahead and modernize them. Just my opinion on it. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Other than that, it's a very sharp looking figure. The paint apps where they are look fantastic, especially on that faceplate. The overall design of the figure, it's kind of cool. I was not a big fan of Heroes Reborn and Heroes Return. That storyline, it didn't do it for me. And although I'm glad they pulled them out of the Heroes Reborn sub-universe, or whatever you want to call it, that was in Franklin's Bouncy Ball, and brought them back to the Marvel Universe proper. But just those designs that right after, not my cup of tea. However, I will say this, looking at it now, it does look kind of cool. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.